Welcome back to EmpowerND Podcast. This podcast creates space for honest conversations about health, well-being, and community resources to help people in southwestern North Dakota live healthy, full lives. The EmpowerND Podcast is produced by Women Empowering Women, a nonprofit organization dedicated to connecting, supporting, and educating women to help them become the best versions of themselves. To become a member or learn more, visit wewnetwork.org. Okay, today we're talking about a program that provides much more than just a meal. For many older adults, having access to nutritious food and a friendly check-in each day can make a big difference in maintaining independence and staying connected to the community. Joining me today is Jenn from Elder Care. We'll talk about the Senior Meals Program, who it serves, how people can access it, and why these daily connections are such an important part of supporting older adults in our community. Let's get started. So can you just introduce yourself and kind of what you do for Elder Care?
My name is Jenn Quigley, and I am the director at Elder Care. Elder Care has two programs under them, and one of them is the Senior Meals Program.
Okay.
We provide senior meals in the 8 counties in southwest North Dakota.
Okay, awesome. So for someone who's never heard of Elder Care Senior Meals before, how would you describe the program and what it provides for older adults in our community?
So the Senior Meal Program provides meals for those that are 60 and over. Financial means is not taken into consideration. It is just minimum requirement would be that you're 60 years older. And like I said, in the 8 counties that are in southwest North Dakota, it's a nutritious meal. The recipes for those meals are provided by Dietary Solutions, who provides the recipes for the state of North Dakota.
What are some of the common reasons someone may reach out to learn more about senior meals?
We have people that reach out. Maybe a parent could benefit from having a meal delivered, or possibly for having them go to a congregate site. We have people that are 60 and over that reach out because maybe financially they're not able to, have enough food in their home. There's different situations. Like I said, financial is not anything that we look at. All of our agreements with the state for funding is 60 years old and older is our minimum requirement.
So what does the enrollment process look like?
So the enrollment process would be calling our elder care office. They would need to schedule a intake. And that's getting the address, the name, who it is. We ask some basic questions. How is it that they would like to do their meals, if they would want to go to a congregate site to be able to eat, which opens up that socialization. Right. If there is a reason that they would need to have home delivered meals, or if there is a dietary restriction or something, then there is that possibility of doing mail order type of a meal. So they would get so many meals in the mail, frozen ones that they would have to put in their freezer for like 2 weeks.
Okay. So when someone's enrolled, what can they expect when they begin receiving meals?
So if they're doing home delivered. So home delivered is we would take the meal to them, dependent on how we're doing it in the different counties. So say Dickinson, we have, I think it's 4 or 5 routes that they do. Some are paid staff, some are volunteers that we have that go out in and do our meal delivery. A meal participant would come to the door when they knock on the door, get handed their meal for the day, and they would have it.
Okay, awesome. So how often are meals provided, and how does the schedule work?
So meals are provided Monday through Friday over lunch, is what it is. Our congregate sites is where a meal deliverer might bring all of the meals for those that are going to be sitting down in a general area.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a senior center. Sometimes it could be, another place that's in that community. We have multiple, I don't remember how many congregate sites that we have between the 8 communities. But that's what elder care at the office, they could be able to answer that in their area.
Okay. What types of meals are offered, and how do you make sure they meet the nutritional needs of older adults?
So the nutritional needs of older adults, like I said, is done through Dietary Solutions. That is the company that does the nutrition meals for North Dakota. So any of the recipes that are ones that they have already approved. Um, and so you can guarantee that all of those meals that they're getting meet those requirements.
Okay. And then who typically uses senior meals? Like, are there certain times in life when this program becomes especially helpful?
There are, especially if say somebody over 60 falls on hard times. You look at it back in November when the SNAP benefits, there were problems with people getting the SNAP benefits. They were stopped for a bit. Some people rely on those assistance,
Okay.
and so sometimes that senior meal makes a big difference.
So how does having access to regular meals help older adults remain independent?
The nutrition is big. We try to push that congregate meal a little bit more,
Right.
just because that socialization is so big for the health of anybody,
Right.
no matter what your age. But such a crucial thing for anybody, and so we try to push those congregate meals. Get out, visit a little bit. But if you are needing that home delivered, you probably have contact 3 to 5 days a week, dependent on the area,
With someone. Yeah.
with somebody. And maybe it's just a hello, but it's
Right.
that little bit of contact.
Yeah. So programs like senior meals rely a lot of community support behind the scenes. Can you talk about how the program is funded and different partnerships that make it available?
So our funding is through an agreement with Aging Services, also through an agreement with the city on some funding, senior mill levy. We utilize senior mill levy when we're able to, depending on the county, and we also are contribution based. So when I said the minimum requirement is 60, and we don't ask any financial questions, we are contribution based. So we ask for a contribution of $5 a meal.
Right.
Now, if somebody can't pay that, doesn't mean you're not getting a meal. If you can pay $1, a meal. If you can, pay 50 cents, anything like
Right.
that. If you can't pay anything, you're still getting a meal.
Yeah. Okay.
And then anybody can donate as far as to the meal program.
Okay.
We get random donations. We get donations continuously through some businesses and things like that too.
What are some common misconceptions people have about senior meals?
Common misconception could be that we are looking at finances or asking about financials, which we don't. And so that would be one of the biggest.
Okay. Are there people who may qualify for the program but hesitate to reach out, and what would you want them to know?
Don't hesitate to reach out. You never know the answer until you ask the question. And our staff at the elder care office can answer the questions for you. They can give you all of the information for your area. Like I said, it's the 8 counties in the Southwest North Dakota. Each county is a little bit different depending on where the congregate site would be, or home delivered meals, those types of things. So just ask the question.
Okay. So can you share an example of how senior meals has made a difference for someone in our community?
I think the biggest thing, actually, so we have a Cafe 60 site in Dickinson. We also have one in Hettinger. So Cafe 60 is still a contribution of $5 a meal if you're able to. The Cafe 60 sites are actually a restaurant.
Okay.
So our restaurant in Hettinger is Rusty's. Our restaurant here in Dickinson is at DSU, and it's at the Perch.
Okay.
And so you're able to take a voucher for the Cafe 60 program. We do print out vouchers with your name on it, and you're able to go there and you're able to get a nutritious meal. That is a little bit different because it's not maybe, say, at a senior center where you're
Right.
sitting down. It's something a little bit more open. As you look at it, and I guess I've seen it too as I get older, those that are 60 may not want to go to, say, a site or necessarily eat with some people, but this is a little bit different atmosphere.
Right.
but still being able to get out, maybe visit with a few people.
Right. Well, and I think the DSU one would be really fun because there's young people working and they can get to know people and you know, have those interactions too.
Yeah. And people don't realize that the DSU, the perch at the DSU is open to the public.
Right.
It's a restaurant, and therefore we can do that Cafe 60 program there. And so that has made a big difference. I think that helps the students and the seniors that go there.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So if someone listening thinks they or a loved one may benefit from senior meals, what's the next step?
So the next step would be calling the office. It's 701-456-1818. And calling there, scheduling for either their loved one or themselves to be able to get an assessment done so that we can get them in the system. And that is so that we can get the partial reimbursements too for meals.
Okay. So thank you, Jenn, for joining us today and sharing more about elder care, senior meals, and the impact this program has in our community. As we heard today, senior meals is about more than providing a meal. It's about connection, independence, and making sure older adults have support when they need it. This program is made possible through a strong community effort, including funding support and the volunteers who make it happen. If you or someone you know could benefit from senior meals, reach out to Elder Care Region 8 to learn more. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and we'll see you on the next EmpowerND podcast.